Department of Rejected Dreams. If you had a dream rejected, IKEA can make it possible.
So I always dreamed of having a man cave.
But the wife doesn't like it.
What if I called it a woman cave?
Okay, so let's not do that, but add some relaxing lighting and a comfy IKEA Hofburg ottoman, and now it's a cozy retreat.
Nice, a cozy retreat. Man cozy retreat.
Sir, okay. Find your big dreams, small dreams, and cozy retreat dreams in-store or online at IKEA.us. Dream the possibilities.
At RxBar, they believe in simple nutrition without the BS. That's why they said no to artificial ingredients and yes to deliver intentional, transparent nutrition. Try their original 12-gram protein bar, the nut butter and oat bar, or minis. RxBar, the proud sponsor of No BS. Use code RxBar on rxbar.com for 25% off. Subject to full terms and conditions and to change. Valid until September 30, 2025, and may not be combined with other offers. See rxbar.com for full details and limitations.
Always follow the money.
That's what I always say. You always follow the money.
Yeah.
This is Follow the Money with Mitch Moss and Paulie Howard on VSiN.
Here we go. Welcome in. It is Follow the Money on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network. Mitch Moss, Paulie Howard. We're live in downtown Las Vegas from the Circa Resort and Casino. Loaded 3-hour program today. Paul Stone, 90 minutes. Best bets, week 2 college football. Brian Sachs in studio coming up a little bit later on. He bought a Survivor entry early last year after all the carnage, like in September, and he went on to win. And he's been on the show before. He's an awesome guest, has a great strategy, and we'll kick around Survivor with him at that point. And Derek Stevens, it's been, a month?
Yes, it has.
Owner, CEO of this great property in studio coming up last half hour of today's program. That was something else last night there, Paulie. What a way to wrap up week 1 in college football. Absolute bloodbath. 48-14 final. Yards 542 to 222 for TCU. TCU had 284 passing, 258 on the ground. 29 to 10 in first downs. I think the people who are, well, you can kick this around, I think, a little bit, but the people who were all over North Carolina, the win total to go under this year, they're smiling. They probably haven't stopped smiling since that game. The Horned Frogs went on a 41-7 run in the middle of that game last night. Absolutely crazy, man. And after that scripted drive, they look great, right?
You had fun for a little while.
And they're panning the stadium, and there's Roy Williams and Michael Jordan and Lawrence Taylor, and they're like, wow, this is going to be easy.
Randy Moss came out.
Another one.
Yeah.
How fun is this? What a hire. And after that, man, pure destruction.
You got what you wished for. You got what you wanted. You happy? Good? Got the blowout?
Well, I was hoping like North Carolina 20-3 is what I said yesterday. That would have been awesome.
I know. But that never happened in his coaching career when he was DC or NFL head coach. He doesn't give up that many points. His defense doesn't look like that. Couldn't make a tackle. Not fundamentally sound. Putrid. Looked like they hadn't practiced, right? How bad they were. And the big story was, you're right, what the yards were. You take out that first drive, then look at the yards and what happened after that. So, yeah, hard to envision any scenario. They get to 8 wins and go over the win total. And now they open up. You could have grabbed 14 today with Charlotte. Now it's down to 12.5 as North Carolina hits the road. But we'll see Hoodie and Lombardi making the adjustments. But that was, that was tough to take, tough to watch. And maybe I think they have to make a quarterback change, even if Lopez is okay and not hurt. That it seemed Johnson was the better quarterback as well. But that's just not. Here's my takeaway. Let's say this is really bad, like 4 wins bad.
Oh, it might be worse than that.
Okay, 3 wins. I would say he has no future in the NFL ever again. Then,
well, I don't.
Even if they would buy, I'm saying if they would buy him out, I would just say, you know what, it didn't work out. Sorry, Bill. We thought you get the band back together, we could do this, but buy you out 3 wins, okay. I just don't.
Well, you're
think...
talking about at the end of this year already? Come on.
Or a couple years, I'm saying.
Oh well,
I'm saying if this if this looks so bad and if they get blown out, it just doesn't. Because if he didn't take this job, there was still the mystique, the aura, the best to ever do it. We missed out. How did all these teams pass on him? He still had a path and door was open. I don't think door was ever completely shut, right?
Well, now,
but if he goes out here between,
I didn't even consider any of this. Okay.
Sure. Well, I'm saying, because you can't say You look at Pitino, look at some of these guys. You can't say, well, this is my final job. I'm set, right?
No, I just assumed that this was going to be it for him.
Yeah.
Like he was going to take this job.
Well, so did I, but if they win 3 games.
No, Paul, there's not a lot in the cupboard here, man.
Yeah.
And we all knew that. We should have all known that going into the season, yeah?
With the 40 new players and everything.
It's a totally different team. They had to right. So this dude has to get some time here.
I know, but then everyone's doing this on social media too. Yeah, you don't have Brady, then you're doing that stuff as well.
Well, it did not go well for him down the stretch in New England either. I mean, the last couple of years, and that was not just. So this is the most intriguing part of what you're talking about right now is how will Belichick and Lombardi be able to put together a team? Because that part of Belichick's career, lately here down the stretch, going back to the Patriots. That was a complete flop. JVT was talking about this earlier. What was it, the 2022 draft? Not a single player still on the team?
Well, yeah, the GM got the head coach fired. Yeah, the Belichick GM got the head coach fired. Got himself fired with evaluating talent, what you did or didn't do in the draft. I know. But it's also hard to envision one of the greatest coaches ever and having dinner with Lombardi and getting all those great stories and working for Al Davis and working for Belichick, and they say, you know what? We got to get Kitchens in here. That's the guy we have to. Of all these people we can hire, if you want to call the shots and run a good offense, that one still surprises me. No,
okay,
man,
that's fair. Although I thought when he was with Cleveland as a play caller, I thought that he was fine in the NFL. Freddie Kitchens as a head coach was one of the worst head coaches we've ever seen. He was one and done at that level. But I get where you're coming from. I mean, you would think that Belichick would probably be able to name like his guy that he would want.
Sure.
And Freddie Kitchens, to me, is like you're absolutely settling.
And go young, too.
They won't look at it like that. But
they're older guys. That's the other takeaway. I mean, you got to talk to 22-year-olds and 19-year-olds.
And it's a brand new world, by the way.
Yes, it is. Yes.
With NIL and the transfer portal and all that kind of stuff. So how is he going to be able to relate?
I know.
Remember that story? Was it Brett Favre, back end of his career with the Packers, didn't like to have a cell phone? I think that was the story. He had no idea how to relate to the young guys on the team. No clue.
Yeah.
He had to hang out with the older guys who were playing like on the offensive line, and that was pretty much it. That was his clique.
Yeah. The other thing I'm thinking watching that game, though, and you have to do it with all these games so far, is what if TCU only wins 6 games?
Oh, but what if they're good?
Well, you can do that too.
There's an angle here where TCU is going to be a player, I think, in the Big 12 this year.
But I'm doing sky is falling. But that's you're right. That's a good comeback. But that's also, I can't believe what I witnessed and watched. To think that Belichick, with all that time to prepare, and I know the lack of talent, but you're making all these changes, but all that time to prep and get ready and game plan, and that's what it looked like.
Yeah, by the way, what does that say last night as a prime example about scripted plays versus the rest of the game?
Yeah, no kidding.
Right? I mean,
right down the field.
Seriously, how big is that? And that could be for a bet to make like in the first quarter, right? It could be something like, will North Carolina score a touchdown on the first drive? And it doesn't just have to be North Carolina and Bill Belichick. There are really good NFL coaches. We're going to see them this week probably. Their scripts, their first 15 plays, they're really good at that. And then what happens after that when the script runs out and they have to now call the game that's fresh and live and right in front of them? There's a big time difference there. If they could have scripted the entire game last night, my God, maybe they're competitive. But that's not going to happen. Mm-hmm. But 7.5. I mean, what would you make the updated win total right now? After one game. God. I don't want to overreact, but what do you make it?
Well,
4?
Saturday will be huge. What does that say about Charlotte? To be now this team that we just watched last night get destroyed and embarrassed is laying double digits on the road.
Well, Charlotte got manhandled by Appalachian State. And that game closed, 3?
Yeah, 5.5-point move. Never had a chance, I know. But I'm rooting for the guys, I hope Lombardi gets it done. I hope Belichick turns it around. And certainly I hope they have a better performance on Saturday. And I think he'd be great for college football. I hope he has a long stay. I thought that suite was awesome right away. You're right with the star power. I don't have a problem with what ESPN did as well. He's the main attraction. It's a big deal. He was the big selling point. That's why the game was on Monday. Can you believe this? Greatest coach of all time is coaching in college football and back at North Carolina. So I want to see the adjustments they make, and I hope they don't have a 3-9 season.
I feel the same exact way. I would love for him to turn North Carolina into this feeder program to the NFL that he talked about when he got the job.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty cool. But they are a long ways off from that kind of a program right now.
Yeah. Well, the next 3 games are key because Central Florida looked atrocious against Jacksonville State. And then you got Charlotte and then you got Richmond. Because then you got to get ready to go. Because then it's Clemson and Cal. Their stud quarterback. Syracuse looked good. Virginia looked good. Right? Because this is also, they kind of lucked out with the schedule. Think about that. I mean, it could have been, you could have been loaded with your Miamis and,
right.
You know, how it broke at the back end. They caught a lot of softies.
I was dancing around town today, signing up for a ton of contests.
Uh-huh.
And I went over to the Westgate. 2 survivors. 5K each.
Yeah?
Utah, give me 2. I got 2 of them.
Yeah?
So over there, they have the college football contest standings, right? More than 1,000 people were in it. Guess how many people went 7-0?
25.
4. Oh. 4 people. But this is amazing. I don't know who this person is. You know how you can have 10 entries? And so, like, it's you have the same name, and then it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's an entry in here, and if you listen to VSiN, sir or ma'am, whomever you might be, reach out, ftm@vsin.com, at VSiN Live, at Mitch Moss Radio, at Paulie Howard. The name of the entry is Rounding. It's not Rounding Again, because that was James Salinas. Maybe this is James. I don't know. The number 2 entry for Rounding, 7-0. The number 10 entry, 6-1. The 8 entry, 6-1. The 4 entry, 6-1.
No.
Yeah, and I stopped looking. I'm like, are you serious? Is this guy going to have like every single entry at like 6-1 or higher?
Yeah.
That's impressive.
Damn right.
But only there's more than a page of people who went 0-7. I don't know if that's the no picks or people had 0-7s.
Good comeback.
You know.
And I know we talked to Sooner Adam, pro better after the show. And one of his contest plays was Michigan State.
You can't have.
I mean, you have to win almost all those if you're going to.
You can't lose them.
You can't. That's
you
another
can't lose
one.
a game like that.
That's one of the worst beats I've ever seen. And he happened to have that in the contest as well. Our NFL betting guide updated and ready for Week 1. NFL betting guide 2.0. Post preseason team updates, betting systems, contest strategies, and more best bets from the hosts from opening week and beyond. Get access to this in our college football betting guide as well. $9.99 your first 30 days. Come on. VSiN.com/subscribe. Get up there. The website looks fantastic. It's awesome. There's so much stuff up there. Bill and everyone doing a great job. Beautiful job with the website. Get up there now. VSiN.com/subscribe.
A 700-1 shot that is now 30-1. Details next.
When life brings the blah, add more Yabba Dabba Doo with some tasty Fruity Pebbles. Early morning meeting? Blah. Someone brought the pebbles. Yabba Dabba Doo. Run errands? Blah. Head to the store for pebbles. Yabba Dabba Doo. Fruity Pebbles. Less blah. More Yabba Dabba Doo. Pick up Pebbles cereal today. Yabba Dabba Doo and the Flintstones and all related characters and elements. Copyright and trademark Hanna-Barbera.
Next Level Pet people will do anything for their dogs. That means treating them with next level protection from parasites with NexGard Plus, afoxolaner, moxidectin, and parental chewable tablets. NexGard Plus chews provide one-and-done monthly protection against fleas, ticks, heartworm disease, roundworms, and hookworms, all in a tasty beef-flavored chew. Use with caution in dogs with a history of seizures or neurologic disorders. Dogs should be tested for existing heartworm infection prior to starting a preventive. Ask your vet about NexGard Plus chews.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
Time now for some best bets. Week 2 college football. Professional sports bettor Paul Stone joins the program now. You can follow him on X at Paul Stone Sports. And he is on the Progressive guest line. Paul, good afternoon. Thanks for the time. Good to see you this past weekend, by the way. Great job with the cabana here at Stadium Swim.
Yeah, we had a good time, had a good turnout. We were talking off air about how hot it was. That kind of detracted a little bit, but I guess if you're in Las Vegas in late August, it's going to be about 105, 110. But it was a great get-together. Good to be with all the guys.
That sun will get you. It'll get you.
Yes, absolutely.
Let's begin with probably the marquee game in Week 2. Michigan plays at Oklahoma. Now, the opening number on this Sooners opened 3.5. That was quickly wiped off the board, moved up instantly, and got as high as 6. Most books now offering 5.5 on the game, total 46 or 46.5. Who do you like in this game, Paul?
Yeah, I'll tell you, I think without question, everybody thinks that Oklahoma is going to be at least somewhat better. I don't know if a decisive 35-3 win over FCS Illinois State tells us much, but the Sooners are going to be an improved football team, and this will be a great measuring stick. Looking at this game, just some of the stats, Michigan, fairly small sample size, but since 2020, Michigan is 4-1 against the spread as an away underdog. Actually have won 3 of those games away from home outright, 2 of those against rival Ohio State. Oklahoma, they did what they needed to do in their season opener again against Illinois State. Michigan, on the other hand, a fairly lackluster 34-17 victory over New Mexico. No nice way to put it. I mean, New Mexico is one of the worst FBS teams among the 136. They hung around fairly close. It was never in doubt. Michigan led by 14 at the half, won the game again by 17 points. One notable thing that came out of that game is the fact that Michigan veteran linebacker returning starter Jayshon Barham got ejected for targeting in the second half. So he'll sit out the first half of the game at Norman against Oklahoma. So a big loss for Michigan there. When I look at this line of 5.5, it infers, when you take out home field advantage, that Oklahoma's power rating is 2 points higher than Michigan. I just don't see that. In referencing some of the people that I look at their power ratings as well and use for comparison, they kind of have the same thing that I do. Michigan maybe a half point, a point better than the Sooners. So I think the line's a little bit out of whack. I actually made Oklahoma a 2.5 point favorite in this game. John Mateer, Oklahoma's transfer quarterback, kind of burst onto the scene last year at Washington State, a dual threat guy who can certainly run the football and pass the football, but he's never faced a defense like the Wolverines. He is definitely stepping up in class, so it will be interesting to see how he fares. One last note here. When the line is 7 points or fewer, whether Oklahoma's the favorite or the underdog, 7 points or less, Brent Venables in 3 seasons and a game, only 3-10 against the spread. So in tightly spread games, he has not fared well in those. I think Michigan's going to keep it tight. I think 5.5 is a lot of points in a game that I think is going to be low scoring. So I'm kind of going to have a dual recommendation, or we'll have a dual recommendation here. I like Michigan plus 5.5. I think Michigan tries to control the ball, keep Bryce Underwood out of harm's way, the true freshman quarterback, feed the ball to Justice Haynes and company, the running backs, lean on that defense. I like Michigan plus 5.5 and like the game to go under the total of 46.
Very good. Good luck to you, my friend. How about Kansas and Missouri? Missouri looked fantastic last week, although didn't play anybody, but got whatever they wanted offensively. How about Mizzou, 6.5 against Kansas at home?
People, Paulie, that don't live in this region of the country, they're in the Midwest, don't know how intense this rivalry is. And it's a shame that this game, the border war, has not been played since 2011. So they're, revitalizing this rivalry, if you will. First time the game's been played in Columbia since 2006, almost 20 years, because they played the last 5 editions there in Kansas City. But looking at their openers, Missouri easily dispatched Central Arkansas 61-6 in the season opener. They did have some personnel losses, though. Sam Horn, one of their quarterbacks, he was competing with Penn State transfer Bo Perbula for the starting quarterback position. He had a lower leg injury. He's going to miss extended time. And then their place kicker, returning starter Blake Craig, just reported that he tore his ACL. He's going to be out for the year. So they'll have a true freshman kicker in Robert Meyer, who kicked 4 extra points in their season opener. Despite the absence of those two, key players for sure, I just think Missouri has the superior roster here, especially on defense. I think they're going to win this game by 7 or more. Still some 6s out there, but mostly 6.5. Missouri found this stat here pretty interesting. They're not regularly mentioned as part of the SEC's upper class, but if you look at the last 2 years straight up in SEC play, Missouri is 11-5 only 2 schools, Georgia and Alabama, have a better record in the SEC over that 2-year period. Of course, Texas and Oklahoma only been in the league for a year, so they don't qualify, but they've got the same record the last 2 years in the SEC as Ole Miss and LSU, and have a better record than Tennessee. So this Missouri program, they are 19-9-1 against the spread since late in the 2022 campaign. Eli Drinkwitz doing a great job there. And again, that defense that I talked about, they've allowed over the last 27 games an average of just 20.1 points per game. A lot of people back from last year's defense. Plus, they add Josiah Trotter, transfer from West Virginia, had 92 tackles last year for the Mountaineers, was the Big 12 Defensive Freshman of the Year, son of former NFL great Jeremiah Trotter. So a good defense, probably got better with Trotter and others coming aboard. I like Mizzou -6 over Kansas in the border war.
Very good. I'm right there with you. By the way, on that stat that you had, Georgia and Alabama, only 2 teams in the SEC with a better straight-up record in conference than Missouri.
Straight-up record the last 2 years. If you look at the conference record, only 23 and 24. The last 2 years, Missouri 11-5 overall in SEC play. The only 2 better. I think Georgia's got 1 loss. Alabama's got 3 this year.
And by the way, file this away. Missouri, at the end of this year, will have a better record in that 3-year stretch than Alabama. That's going to happen because their schedule is so easy, and Bama might be 6-6. Who knows? What do you want to do with Texas State taking on UTSA?
Yeah, looking at this game, this is a really interesting game for people in my home state of Texas. Has a lot of local connections. This game, first of all, pits 2 budding programs that are separated by only 50 miles. They're schools that are certainly angling to improve their position in college football's pecking order, if you will. And when they meet Saturday in the Alamo Dome in San Antonio, it's going to be a game pitting teacher against pupil. Texas San Antonio head coach Jeff Traylor, he kind of earned his coaching spurs as a high school coach here in the eastern part of Texas at Gilmer High School in the eastern part of Texas again. I believe it was year 2006. His quarterback was a young man named G.J. Kinney, who is the head coach of Texas State, who will be on the opposite sideline Saturday. So pretty interesting. They did play one another last year, and the pupil, Kinney, somewhat embarrassed his teacher. Texas State won that game in San Marcos 49-10. But this year, Texas State, they've got a largely reconstructed roster. They did really show well against Eastern Michigan in their opener. Texas State had over 600 yards. They beat Eastern Michigan 52-27. Their first-time starting quarterback, Brad Jackson, was impressive, played a steady game. Meanwhile, Texas San Antonio, they traveled to College Station, stepped up in class, played 19th ranked Texas A&M. The Aggies prevailed 42-24. But UTSA, they had 373 yards offense, rushed for 203 yards, a little over 6 yards a carry. So they held their own against A&M, gave up a punt return to KC Concepcion of the Aggies, 80 yards. So that definitely hurt them. But they only trailed 21-17 one play into the second half when Robert Henry Jr. went for 75 yards. But A&M pulled away late. Henry finished with 16 carries, 177 yards, and 2 touchdowns. I think UTSA is going to be able to move the football on them. Texas San Antonio's got a lot of people back on offense. I think there's going to be some scoring, but I like the Roadrunners to get it done over Texas State. UTSA -4.5.
Very good. We're up against it here, but any desire to bet North Carolina this week against Charlotte? What are they laying, 12.5 now?
Man, if they were playing somebody other than Charlotte, that Charlotte performance against Appalachian State, that was pretty brutal this past week. So there's not much to be too optimistic about in either one of those camps. But it is hard to see North Carolina favored by 12.5 over anyone. Going to be interesting to see how that quarterback job pans out. I think Max Johnson, I thought going into camp, I thought he was going to maybe be the guy coming off a major injury, but I wouldn't be surprised if he takes over sooner rather than later for the Tar Heels.
I think he has to. I mean, after one game, that was awful last night. You can follow him on X. He's at Paul Stone Sports. Joined us here on the Progressive Guest Line. Thanks, pal. We appreciate it. Good luck this week.
Hey, same to you guys. Y'all have a great week.
Be good.
Thank you, sir.
There you go. Up next, we'll take you inside Mitch and Paulie's Pizzeria. The tip jar is open. Some long shot bets that you, the audience, are getting nuts with.
algorithm to determine the winner of any given college basketball game.
Someone gives you 10,000 to 1 on anything. You take it. Take it. Take it.
I'll bet you $20 I can get you gambling before the end of the day. No way. I'll give you 3 to 1 odds. Nope. 5 to 1. Nope. 10 to 1. You're up.
The beats continue. Rough one last night, 5-3 Arizona in the ninth. They blow it. Arizona and under becomes Texas and over. And the Rangers, even with all these injuries, have now won 6 in a row. And I believe 9 of 10. So no luck there with the Diamondbacks. Get ready for Thursday. Right back on it. Cowboys, longest made field goal, $1.20. Gotta back my boy Aubrey there. And the pending, that's the new play. The pending tonight, 5 Pacific, moved up to 5 Pacific. Fritz and Joker over 41.5 games. Joker is 10-0 lifetime against them, but I think we'll get a long one here. And they need it. The concessions need it. Match canceled. Didn't expect that in the quarters of the women's draw with Sabalenka. So I expect a competitive match coming up. Chiefs on a money line Friday in Brazil. That is 3 right now, a couple 3.5s at MGM. And the Eagles laying 6.5 against the Cowboys. Bet that when Mitch was on vacation. That's when Jerry was doing the rounds and also talked to Michael Irvin about, well, the agent said, you know, you can take the contract and stick it. And it was like, this guy's not playing, or this is not going to be done by the time this kicks off. And he means so much of that defense, yada, yada, yada. We had the trade. Now it's 8.5. It was 7 minus 120 yesterday at DraftKings. Now it's 8.5.
Yep.
Unbelievable. Good luck.
Hey, to your point on Fritz and Joker, the long match, I heard a business report today driving around here on VSiN, plays during the breaks. They were breaking down the average cost here for the U.S. Open. Tickets have gone up, I think, 70% since 2019. Did you know this? I had no idea.
No way.
The average ticket cost this year, according to this report, to get into the U.S. Open was $450.
To see one match?
For the day.
I
think it might have been for the day.
Well, I see Nigel's there again, and it'd be great to get Nigel on, but he's...
Evidently, there are like 70,000 people that hang out in the area.
Is that right?
Are you aware of this honeydew drink that's everybody that got to post on social media?
I'm aware of that.
First of all, it's vodka, raspberry liqueur, and lemonade, and then you get honeydew melon balls with it. It sounds absolutely awful.
Yeah.
It's $23 a drink.
Oh, God. I don't know. It's I tried those Miami Vices the other day at the pool. I don't know. It's just whatever. Joker opened $1. He was $1.70 late last night. Now he's $2.25 at DraftKings.
Wow.
But the favorites have been coming in.
Right.
And these big favorites. And then Drake just bet $300,000 on Sinner to win. Careful.
To win it outright?
To win it outright, yeah. Yeah.
Well, he's odds on, I think, right?
Minus 2,000 tomorrow whenever he plays. $300,000 to win the U.S. Open.
Hasn't Drake been the kiss of death on everything that he bets?
Oh, sure. The so-called Drake curse has been blamed for several losses over the past few years. $200,000 on Fritz to beat Sinner. He's down $115,000 on tennis after he had Sinner to win the Aussie Open. And, it just goes back about the Drake curse, and, you don't want to be on the same side as that guy. Okay.
All right, so college football this weekend. I bet Ole Miss laid 10 against Kentucky. Revenge on the mind here for Lane Kiffin. That loss to Kentucky kept him out. That was one of them that kept him out of the playoffs last year. And I'm a big fan of the quarterback. I think Simmons is really, really good. And that Kentucky-Toledo game, what did Kentucky do?
Yeah.
They didn't do much of anything at all. So only one data point. I get that. So I lay the 10 there. Here's what I'm doing tonight. There's a prospect who got called up for Los Angeles, the Angels. His name is Mitch Ferris. He's a lefty. He's taking on the Royals. Awesome in the Southern League this year. Leads the league and ranks second in all of AA with 142 strikeouts over 23 outings. That's actually the second most in this club's history. 5 shy of the franchise's record that was set last year. He's coming off of a game last Tuesday against Columbus when he struck out 13.
Yeah.
He had a complete game, 9 strikeout performance. August 13th. Kid's been absolutely on fire. I'm laddering his K-props tonight, taking a shot. Staggered the bet sizes here, but 4+ Ks minus 106. You might be able to find some better numbers out there. 5+ is plus 220, 6+ 5-1, 7+ Ks 11-1. We're gonna ring it up.
Good job.
Let's climb the ladder tonight.
Good job, Chris, sending that in as well. That's phenomenal. G-Bank, built with sports bettors in mind. Right now, you can earn a $50 cashback reward bonus once you're approved and your account's open with the G-Bank Visa Signature Card. Most credit cards, street sports books, and gaming transactions as cash advances, even when it's your own money. G-Bank treats them as regular purchases. No cash advance fees. Save up to 3 to 5% on every deposit. Plus, you'll earn 1% cash back on all eligible sports books and gaming transactions. 2% cash back on everything else you buy. Apply now. VSiN.com/GBank. VSiN.com/GBank. Mikey P has Dampier and Robinson straight.
Yeah, he bet him straight.
Good job.
He's the same person who had him in the parlay. And we asked the question, if I did anyway, if he bet them both straight, and he did.
Scatterboo Carter, 165-1. Mike has got LSU to make the playoff. Flag, Rookie of the Year. Oilers win the West. Ollie Gordon, Offensive Rookie of the Year. You got to be more than that.
What does it pay?
1,400-1?
1,400.
I guess if Ollie's down to that can't be.
Your boy Ollie's down to like 100 now.
Yeah.
You got him at 1,000? Are you sure?
Yes. I was. Yes.
You got the bad vision here.
Yeah,
there was an extra zero on there.
That was when it had already moved. Yes, I thought it was still 1,000 when we were talking about it when you came back. DraftKings.
Are you aware of how high fantasy people have become now on Ollie Gordon?
No, I don't play it.
Oh, they absolutely love him. I mean, they're talking like 8-9 touchdowns this year for him.
Yeah, this is big. This is big. I think that's. Go ahead.
He's going to get playing time even if Achane is okay. Because Achane's not going to be like a complete...
Right.
And I like Achane a lot.
And he gets hurt.
Sure. And then Jalen Wright's already banged up.
Right. So we mentioned this earlier, just briefly about Utah. Like, coaches don't watch games, and the game was at 11 o'clock East Coast time with the kickoff. They're only receiving votes, and they're 25th in the coaches poll. In the coaches poll, Alabama dropped 13 spots. They're 21. The last time Alabama wasn't ranked in the top 20... W was president, the iPhone had just been released, and Ryan Williams was 1 year old. How about that? And I didn't want to go there. I'm just saying, if I'm not going to say they're going to buy him out, whatever. I'm just saying if this is so bad for Belichick at Carolina, it's probably over, and maybe it's already over for the NFL. I think it's completely over for the NFL if he has like a 3-win season. Because now it's just like you're going to lose the press conference. Like, come on, how bad was it the end of New England, and now what's going on at Carolina?
Well,
but to get where they're at now with the Alabama fan base, where it's okay, I got the money ready. Here we go. The buyout, $70 million. So earlier you said with their schedule, who knows? Maybe they lose 5 games. But if he continues to lose games as double-digit favorites and they can't stop anything, and they have some tough games come, 8-4 is unacceptable. We know that. They'll run you out of town, 8-4.
You want to make a bet right now that Bill Belichick is at North Carolina longer than Kalen DeBoer is at Alabama? I just straight up right now. Hoodie lasts longer at North Carolina than DeBoer does at Alabama.
$1.10?
No, even money.
Okay.
Even money. It's you and me. We're not, come on. Who's going to juice each other here?
What do you think? Oh, I thought you were going to give me a line. I thought you actually,
we'll make it even. We'll make it even money.
Existed. What do you think happens if they buy out DeBoer? Is it Kiffin?
He's going to be at the very top of the list, yeah.
He's like the 5th choice at one spot I saw.
Oh, that's right. The books already came out with odds on that. Reese was the favorite, I think.
Yeah, come on.
That's not going to happen.
They'll go Kiffin when he was the OC.
Crystal ball?
Oh, stop it. What?
Well, because he will. It doesn't matter.
No.
Clearly, wherever this guy goes, he's going to have tons of talent. I don't think he's a good coach, but he'll have tons of talent no matter what. His Oregon teams were loaded, man.
Mm-hmm.
How about him? How about Lanning? But I don't think he's going to go back to the SEC. Lanning knows how good he has it at Oregon.
Right.
Would you go Lincoln Riley?
Come on. No way. But but it's Alabama, though. You can get just about anybody you want. And now you don't want to be the guy who follows the guy. Now you don't have to because DeBoer's already, so you'll be okay there.
Do you just say Kirby Smart? What does it take?
I don't think he'll do that.
Pull him away from Georgia?
No.
Well, then who do you get then?
I'm saying you can go NFL route if you want to. Look what happened to Saban. The guy quit on the Miami Dolphins.
How about Jim Harbaugh? Goes back to college.
I don't know.
It's a whole new world, though.
Isn't he
man,
looking at sanctions if that happens? I don't know. I know you're right. I know that's fair.
Derek Stevens, owner, CEO of Circle Las Vegas, on the program next. We'll get his final set of Survivor projections on the show coming up next.
When life brings the blah, add more Yabba Dabba Do with some tasty Fruity Pebbles. Early morning meeting? Blah. Someone brought the pebbles. Yabba Dabba Do. Run errands? Blah. Head to the store for pebbles. Yabba Dabba Do. Fruity Pebbles. Less blah. More Yabba Dabba Do. Pick up Pebbles cereal today. Yabba Dabba Do and the Flintstones and all related characters and elements. Copyright and trademark Hanna-Barbera.
Next Level Pet people will do anything for their dogs. That means treating them with next level protection from parasites with NexGard Plus, Afoxolaner, Moxidectin, and parental chewable tablets. NexGard Plus chews provide one and done monthly protection against fleas, ticks, heartworm disease, roundworms, and hookworms, all in a tasty beef-flavored chew. Use with caution in dogs with a history of seizures or neurologic disorders. Dogs should be tested for existing heartworm infection prior to starting a preventive. Ask your vet about NexGard Plus chews.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
All right, we've been itching for this appearance. It's been a good month. The guy has been the busiest man in the world. He's the owner and the CEO of Circle Las Vegas. The NFL is here this week. Derek Stevens in studio. You said to us, great to see you. You said to us during the break, what a day. Explain it to the audience. And what has it been like here?
What a day is right. I mean, it started last night. You know, two guys walk in, jump into Grandissimo, didn't know they were coming. And then today, you look at the bank account. Wire in. Will Case and, you know, our CFO, they're like, man, we're getting a lot of money in. And then obviously people just put money in for front money and to load up their apps. But I mean, the money coming in for football contests has been unbelievable. We've had 6 so far today. It's unbelievable.
6 $100,000 Grandissimo entries today.
6 Circuit Grandissimos. Yeah, since this morning. All ones, one single entrance, 6 different ones. It's unbelievable. Cam Ross just told me we got a couple more coming in tomorrow morning.
What?
Yeah, can't believe it.
So what's the official number right now?
Currently, it's not updated on the board yet, but as of like a half hour ago, now we're at 49.
And the 2 tomorrow, you're going to get 51.
Yeah.
What were you thinking when? Remember when you announced
last time I was in here. Remember I was like, "Hey, I'm going to go to Hawaii. I'm going to take a couple weeks of vacation."
Yeah.
I missed you at Hawaii, and then we had to go to Missouri, so I missed that, and then last week I blew my back out.
Yeah.
So it's been a little while. And back then I think I was like, we were at like 11. And I remember telling you, man, I just hope we get to 15.
Yes, that's what you said.
I hope we get to 15.
I know.
You asked me, like, what are you going to get more? I'm like, I don't want to think about it. Let's just get to 15. But now this is crazy.
Let me give you a number right now. I want to get your reaction. I think you guys can touch 75.
What? Oh, my goodness. That's
You've had 6 since last night.
Yeah.
Or 6 today.
Yeah, 6 today. It's crazy. I don't. The thing about this is so novel. You have no idea how to compare. You can't say, well, last year it came in late. There's no comparison. That's why this was a very difficult one to predict.
Absolutely.
Now people say, why'd you only guarantee $1.5 million? I'm like, well, I mean, we guaranteed we got it kickstarted. I mean, how would we know it was going to go like this?
Sure. And Mike Palm told the story about the guy in Utah. He was just on the internet. Oh, some contest. He flies in, does that in the full house, and then goes back to Utah.
It's unbelievable. Yeah.
So are you more surprised with what just transpired in the last 24 hours or the madness last week with the TikTok kids? I'm doing 2. He's doing 2. My buddy's doing 2.
Yeah. Bryce Hall, he's a special guy, man. He's a lot of fun. That guy, I like him hanging around here.
Okay.
Him and all of his buddies. He's got a lot. He hangs around some pretty sharp guys. He's not necessarily known for his football handicapping, but he certainly is known for hanging around the right people. So he's got the right guys around him. But yeah, that was pretty cool.
I think the comment that he made with Scott Seinberg was something along the lines of, I don't really watch football that much.
Yeah.
So he relies on people that he can trust and everything.
Yeah.
It's not a bad move.
Okay.
No.
He's got the money.
He's around some poker guys. I got to know him going to all the power slaps. That's where I met him.
Oh, really?
He's hanging out on the side like with Dana White, and I always see him. He's always filming, and like I got to know him. He got to know our surveillance director. They got to be pretty good buddies. He bets fights. He bets fights. UFC. He thought it was hilarious that we're booking power slaps, so he's betting into that. And he's just a nice guy. So then he heard about this. He goes, "Whoa, you give away $1.5 million. All right, I'm in." Like that's what it was for him.
No problem.
Yeah.
Is Dana, by the way, is he in the Grandissimo?
No, he's not in the Grandissimo. I don't know if he's going to be. I don't want to ask him. I mean, I don't want to look. At this point, I'm happy with where we're at. I don't want to look like I'm pulling a favor out.
Well,
the fact that Dana came out last year, he participated in Million and Circus Survivor was cool. Plus, he had a cash. It's unbelievable. I still gave his big check up in my office. I should actually put it up here. He never collected his big check. I got a big check for what was his name? He was
UFC guy.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing, because he's obviously a very busy guy. Is there a chance that he's unaware of Grandissimo? And then if you don't tell him, he's going to be like, Derek, what the hell is this? I had a chance to win, get in it with like 55, 60, 70 other people. Of course I'm going to be in that thing.
Yeah, you know what? I should. You know what I'll do?
He'd get two.
You know what? I'll text him when we get off the phone. When we get out of here, I'll text him. That's a good point. Yeah, because now if this thing's going to be $5 million, maybe he's interested now. Maybe I don't know.
That's a good point.
He just did a $7.7 billion deal.
Yeah,
I don't know. $5 million is still a pretty good nut for him, I would say. He'd be excited about it.
I know, it's a couple hands of blackjack for him. No big deal. So are the wheels already turning for next year?
No, I'll tell you exactly where my wheels are. My wheels are doing. What can we do to get the millions to $6 million? I just don't want to get beat on this thing.
Yeah.
We're pacing a little behind. We might have an overlay.
Okay.
I did get information that a few pretty smart guys have decided to round up some teams and start to show up on probably Thursday and Friday. We know some of them, like Derbify, still the all-time record holder, 63-27. So I think there's a few smart guys that are thinking, okay, there's a chance we're going to have an overlay here. And, those guys don't let overlays go by the wayside.
No, they don't.
I'm hoping a few of those guys start showing up a little bit more.
Okay. I think you're probably going to get close to 6 in that one. Do we touch 20 in the Survivor?
I don't know. I mean, I'm so ecstatic about us getting over the 15 million, and I think we're on a pretty good pace to do 17. I think I was doing the documentary the other day. I think we're gonna do 17. Maybe we can touch 18. I don't know. Never did I dream Circuit Grandissimo was going to go crazy like that. Yeah, and Circuit Millions. I think $6 million guaranteed. Either we're going to make it by a little or we won't make it by a little. It's going to be in that narrow range.
Mm-hmm. What's the pace with Survivor then? You're supposed to get to 15 tomorrow.
Yeah, we'll hit 15 tomorrow.
So what's how much can you do Thursday, Friday, Saturday? What's realistic?
Last year, the biggest sign-up day of the year was the Wednesday.
Okay.
So it'll be tomorrow. But this year's a little different, the way the room bookings are. I was looking at our transportation log. We got a ton of limos going to the airports on Friday morning and like late Thursday night. So maybe Thursday and Friday is going to be real strong too.
I think so.
Okay.
Everyone's adamant that this is going to happen. Like 19, 20 going to be strong. And these people that study this and do this and all the I'll tell you, every person out here, and every booth's taken. They're doing a great job, these proxies. They are strong that this is getting 19.
Proxies are, Proxies have a great lead. I mean,
they know.
You guys are talking to other guys, the guys who know. I sent text to a couple of the proxies. I go, hey, how's it looking for the next couple of days? I'm sweating out the million.
Right.
They're like, okay, we're doing okay. I got a few more reservations than we did last year, so okay.
How many people do you think are going to be on Philadelphia in the original Survivor? And then how many people do you think will be on Philadelphia in Grandissimo?
Well, I thought early. I know Mike Palm and I had this discussion back. We were on a show together, I don't know, probably 5 weeks ago. And he said, absolutely, Denver's going to be the number one choice.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that, I said, you're probably right, but I'm not giving up the fact that the Eagles will be the number one choice. And now, today, my position's changed a little bit in the last 48 hours. Eagles are a 9-point favorite.
Yeah.
I think the Eagles will be a key selection. I still think maybe the Broncos are the lead, but if not, the Eagles are going to be right there. So I think Eagles are going to be heavily played on Thursday.
Yeah, there's also the part of the equation here that exists where if the Eagles then lose, certain amount of people are going to do that on purpose just in case, so then they can rebuy.
I think for a game theory perspective on Circus Survivor, we've never had a situation like this. You got a 9-point favorite going into Thursday night. Everything says Eagles. Everything is falling apart on the Cowboys with the trade and all that.
Mm-hmm.
I think there are quite a few people that have 10 entries that are ready to reload. We've actually had a few inquiries and emails like, hey, if I'm going all in on Eagles, how quickly can I get a wire out there on Friday? I know I can sign back up, but I got to be able to get my wire out. So people are thinking about it because, you greatly.
I had 2 people tell me that.
Yeah,
that's what they're going to do.
Because if you can just shorten it, like just shortening a game, like they do, shorten the number of videos, shorten the game. If you can shorten this and get through week 1, you're much better off. So, I like the strategy a lot.
Think you're better than the experts? Prove it in the Edge Boost Average Joe contest. Same format as a Circa Friday Football Invitational, but the contestants are average Joes instead of the pros. Free to play. Weekly and quarterly prizes. The grand prize, a spot in next year's field. Sign up now. VSiN.com/Joe. VSiN.com/Joe.
Up next, it is the end of an era at the oldest casino in Las Vegas. We'll ask Derek about that coming up here on VSiN.
Building a portfolio with Fidelity Basket Portfolios is kind of like making a sandwich. It's as simple as picking your stocks and ETFs, sort of like your meats and other toppings, and managing it as one big, juicy investment. Now that's pretty good. Learn more at Fidelity.com/baskets. Investing involves risk, including risk of loss. Fidelity Brokerage Services, LLC. Member NYSE SIPC.
Halliday presents, in the red corner, the undisputed, undefeated Weed Whacker Guy. Champion of hurling grass and pollen everywhere. And in the blue corner, the challenger, extra strength Halliday. Eye drops that work all day to prevent the release of histamines that cause itchy allergy eyes. And the winner by knockout is Halliday. Halliday, bring it on.